This is Drops in the Bucket, Lesson 6. And as always, let's start off by writing our name, and if you have a class number, and then also the date. Over here somewhere, write your date down there that you're working on this page. Alright, so let's start off with number 1. Again, we have a fact family triangle. Remember, these down here are our factors, and this is our product. It's the total, the product, 4 times 7 or 7 times 4. So we can start and go 4 times 7 is 28, and we can flip-flop those factors. 7 times 4 also equals 28. We're not taking anything away or adding, just different ways of regrouping, different ways of grouping those. So the division, we're going to flip that around. We're going to say if 4 groups of 7 is 28, then 28 divided into groups of 7, we would have 4 groups. Start here again. If 7 groups of 4 is 28, we took those 28 kids and we divided them into groups of 4, we would have 7 groups. Alright, so number 2. 0 plus 9 is still 9. 3 plus 2, 5, 11, 8. The next one, we can do that. 1 left over, but we can't, oh, we can. So 0, take away 0 is still there. So, but we have to borrow here. So instead of 7, 17. So 17 take away 8 is 9. And 1 take away 1 is nothing. On our time, these get tricky. This one is hours and minutes. So we have to remember that 60 minutes is an hour, right? So if we always start with the minutes. If I add this up, I get 5 here and I get 6 there. So that's more than an hour, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take away an hour, and that hour is actually going to come up here. We're going to add that to our hours. And what's left over? I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm going to redo that a little bit. So we're going to take away 60, and that 60 minutes is, and then what's left over, we end up with just 5 minutes left over. And then over here on the hour side, 7 plus 3 is 10. Those are partners for 10, plus 1 more is 11. We have 11 hours. So I'm using the abbreviations for minutes and hours there. Alright, on the money, 9 plus 4 is 13. So there's 10 plus 7, so 17. Bring that decimal point straight down, and then 10. So $10.73. For the multiplications, remember, start with the 7, go straight up. So 7 times 5 is 35. So we put the 5 there. We put the 3 up there, the 30 up there. And then 7 times 2 is 14, 15, 16, 17. 175. All right, number 3. This one says to separate these 12 into 3 equal sets. So again, this is not groups of 3 or sets of 3. It's 3 equal sets. And to help us out, let's look over here first. 12 divided by 3 equals what? And again, I always tell my students, nobody really thinks division. We really quickly work backwards and we think, what times 3 is 12? And the answer to that is 4. So if we were to circle a group of 4, so there's one group of 4, there's another group of 4, there's another group of 4, we can see that we have 3 sets, and they all have the equal amount in each set. So they are 3 equal sets. So we can say 1 out of 3, because this is 1 out of the 3 sets, this is 1 out of the 3 sets, this is 1 out of the 3 sets. So we could say 1 out of the 3 of 12 is 4. Alright, we're looking at our measurement now. A is exactly at 1 inch. We don't need to do anything. It's just one big hop right there. B is 2 big hops. So if we start here at 0 and we go 1, 2 whole inches. So we have 2 whole inches, and then we have 1, 2, 3 out of the 4 hops of this next inch. So that's 2 3/4. C is at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 whole big jumps, and then only 1 of the 4 little jumps in the next inch. And then it says put D at 5.5. Well, here's 5, right? And then remember this line, so there's 6. Remember this line is our half right there. That's our half line. So 5.5 would be right there. All right. round to the nearest dollar. So we're looking at $19.62. So $19.62 is between $19 and $20, right? And so now if we just look at that 62, this would be our 50 cents. 62 would be up here somewhere, and you can see it's closer to the $20. So we say it's about $20. All right, number 6, how much money is this? So remember, I always start off by writing the values of the coins above them, and then I start with the biggest coin. So 10, 20, 30. So 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So right now we have 34 cents. It says if we had that, how much more would we need to make $1? And the way to do that is to start with $1, take away that 34 cents, and that will tell us the difference. So I'm going to turn that dollar into 90/10, so I can do the subtraction. So 10 take away 4 is 6, and 9 take away 3 is also 6. So we would need 66 cents more to get to $1. All right, number 7. This looks like a stop sign. It says write a multiplication equation to show how much tape is needed to go around the edge of this rectangular octagon. So every side, it shows us down here that every side is 6 inches. So this is 6 inches, that's 6 inches, right? Every side is worth 6 inches. So we would say, how many groups of 6 do we have? And remember, an octagon means 8. So 8 groups of 6. I always go 6 times 8. Isn't that great? 6 times 8 is 48. All right. So the perimeter is 48. What are we counting? We're counting inches. All right. Show the same time, number 8 here. Show the same time on both clocks. So I always start with looking at that minute hand. And remember, we'd start it here at 0 and we'd go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And then we count the little hash mark. So 35, 36, 37, 38. So it's 38 minutes since it was 00, right? So we can just go ahead and add that. 38 minutes since it was 0 time. And then we can see that this hour hand is in between the 5 and the 6. So that tells us we're in that 5 o'clock hour. Number 9. Add 0 to any number and you get 0? No, that doesn't make sense. That same number? No, because if we add a 0 to any number, it wouldn't still be the same number. It would become more than what it was. Number 10, this shape has been cut into 4 pieces, and one of those 4 have been shaded. This shape over here has been cut into, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, has been cut into 8 pieces, and 2 of those 8 have been shaded. And you can see that if you were to eat this much of this, and if you were to eat this much, I always think of a brownie pan, and if I were to eat 2 out of the 8 pieces, it would be really the same amount as if I were to eat 1 out of 4 pieces. All right, so that's drops in the bucket, lesson 6.